Leeds 3, Chelsea nil. Devastating loss today. Really hard game of football to watch as a Chelsea fan. And it was supposed to be the game we were going to get this campaign underway. I feel like this was going to be, the game that we're going to see some insight into how we're going to progress this season. I felt like some of our newly acquired players were going to have a bit more experience playing together, so maybe we were going to see a bit more comfortability from them. Cucurella just started, like he played last week, but first game I thought he was great. I was looking forward to seeing him start in this game. Obviously with Koulibaly, Sterling, I was just looking forward to seeing how all of this was going to work, and it was not that in any sense of the word. It was Leeds were outstanding. That's the biggest point in this video that I definitely don't want to gloss over. Is I'm definitely going to talk about what went wrong and what I feel like was very disappointing from a Chelsea perspective, but can take nothing away from Leeds. They were outstanding, like they really were. On top form, the intensity they played at, the atmosphere of that stadium, like some fantastic individual performances as well. And that Leeds team have got off to a flying start this season. And Rafinha, his loss is not being felt at all at the moment. And this Mr. Marsh is doing something right so far. So credit to Leeds, big credit to Leeds. They won the midfield battle, and that was where this game was won and lost. I was really impressed by Jack Harrison. Every time I watch Jack Harrison, I feel like this guy is a quality player who plays at a intensity and has this tenacity about him. It's like he really gives it his all every minute he's on the pitch. And he's quite silky. He's got a few tricks in his locker, and he's a very intelligent footballer. And I really like Jack Harrison. Rodrigo, I mean, he's top scorer in the Premier League now. He's everywhere. Like, he's not just a lethal attacking threat. He's also like solid at getting back and helping out and doing his defensive duties at the same time. Like, he is a proper player and top goal scorer in the Prem so far, 4 goals in 3 games. Like, he's having a great start to the season. But Chelsea are having quite a stuttered start to the season, I would say. A win, a draw, and now a loss. It feels like we're moving backwards. The Tottenham game was a tough game, considering how well drilled Tottenham are at the moment, how early they did their summer business. That Tottenham game, I was pleased with the draw. You can see it from the last video. I was pleased with that draw. I thought we were better than them. We played so well. None of those signs were here today. We did not play well at all. Leeds were fantastic in the middle. That was where we lacked some real flair and initiative, and even just any time on the ball. Like, our midfield was just pressed constantly. Conor Gallagher was really not the figure that we hope he will be moving forward in this game. I felt like he had a really difficult day with that Leeds press and not having the time to really compose himself and make the right passes or carry the ball forward. Like, he was just running around chasing shadows. Anytime he got the ball, it was like he had no time at all, and often he was fizzing passes into players, and it wasn't perhaps the best pass, or was it the best decision? But the midfield struggled all round today. I'm definitely not going to give Conor Gallagher any stick. Like, I felt like he showed some real glimpses of what he's going to offer this team, and it just wasn't the day for him to shine. Whether they targeted that, Jorginho also didn't have a great game, and I feel like when you put Gallagher in that 6th role, kind of like with Jorginho as well, doing the same thing, receiving the ball, back to goal, or just putting them in high pressure situations. Like Jorginho is very good at that. I mean, he makes the odd mistake here and there, but that is Jorginho's bag. Gallagher, I have never really seen. It feels like he could potentially become that type of player and do that, but I don't really feel like that's his game or that's what he enjoys doing most, and that's gonna maybe cause some problems moving forward. But Mason Mount putting a solid performance, always gives you intensity, always gives it 110%, but he dipped in and out of the game. I was not that impressed with Cucurella today. We went with the back three, wing backs Cucurella and Loftus-Cheek, and I felt like Cucurella was a bit of a passenger today. Like he was much more inspiring against Tottenham, and today he was just a bit of a passenger. Didn't really get a foothold of the game, but Chelsea didn't get a foothold of the game. I'm definitely not going to pin down any individual trash any performances from a Chelsea perspective either, because I just feel like we just got it wrong as a team. Like, it just didn't go to plan. Loftus-Cheek offered a strong outlet on the right. I felt like he was winning most of the duels he was in, but they kind of, again, I think they sort of doubled up on him at times, and he had a hard time getting past two players, and it was tough for him. Thiago Silva, solid performance, does what he does. It's like, he flies under the radar, and obviously we've conceded 3 goals, but he gives you efficiency. He didn't make any mistakes, and I feel like the goals that we've conceded today are obviously very specific, and they're not necessarily defensive howlers, but they are goalkeeping howlers. But I'll get onto that in a sec. Reece James, I thought was very good. Gives you that grit that you need in these kind of games when you're playing a team in that atmosphere. That crowd is just fantastic. The Leeds fans are brilliant, and you need a player like Reece James to just like nullify that momentum sometimes. And I felt like he did that at times. Like he doesn't fall to pressure. Reece James, like he rises above it, and I feel like he didn't even have his greatest game. There was some sloppy moments from him, which is very rare. But I just feel like that's our captain moving forward. Like that is 100% a future Chelsea captain, and I can see it being sooner rather than later if this is how it's going to go. But Koulibaly, he had a torrid time today as well. He got spun numerous occasions. Aronson for Leeds is rapid and gave him a really hard time, and it just felt like he obviously didn't want to let anyone go past him, and those opportunities lead to goals. So the next best thing to do was to just pull a shirt and hold them back. But he picked up 2 yellow cards for that, both practically the same offence, and that's it. We lose the next game, and we are already short at the back. So that's not the player we needed to get sent off. Not his. Apart from that, I felt like he actually had a decent game. I felt like you're starting to see what he'll bring, but I don't feel like pace is one of them, and he could take a little leaf out of Thiago Silva's book on how to read the game and not you get yourself in them situations, because I don't feel like he'll fare very well against some of the faster players in the league. I've left the last two, our goal scoring threats of Sterling and Havertz last. I felt like Sterling really, it was so unfortunate he didn't score in those first opening 10 minutes. I've watched it back, and he does so well. He's so good at feinting and dropping the shoulder. He did that throughout the game and always looked bright. Always managed to retain possession and rarely lost the ball when he was doing that. But we'll just rue that first 10 minutes where we should have scored. Mount as well. Also, great effort from Mount. I feel like that was he was in a difficult spot, and he still managed to get a shot off and test Meslier. But Havertz, he offered a bit of grit, but I'm not sure in possession what he offers. He's great chasing down, he's great, but it's kind of like in this system, I feel like it's sort of pushing Havertz a bit out the door. Now we've got, not out the door, but at this starting 11, when you see Sterling and Mount, and I'm just not sure. I feel Havertz will be the expendable player if we do bring in Aubameyang or someone, as they say. I'm not sure. From what we've seen, we could really trust Havertz over the course of the season to get us goals and create chances. I feel like I'm seeing that more from Sterling and Mount than I am with Havertz, but he's a growing player and I'm a big fan, and I feel like he will come into his own. But yeah, we definitely are. It's a question mark over Kai Havertz at the moment, and it's growing a bit more, unfortunately. But fantastic player, and he's going to bring some real moments of greatness, I'm sure. But yeah, today wasn't his day, and I just thought that was a sort of a reflection of where we might be, what we might be seeing from Tuchel in this transfer market. But anyways, how can we not? I've left it very late to talk about the Edouard Mendy mistake, but that really, everything I just said can be nullified by that mistake, because if we don't give a team that is got a lot of confidence, playing well from the first whistle, if we don't give them that massive advantage, we don't just hand it to them on a silver platter like we did, like Mendy unfortunately did, then we might not even be talking about a 3-0 pumping. But we are, and he's not. I keep seeing it. We're playing it out from the back, and there are so many times that I feel like we just about get away with it. Mendy just about gets away with it, and I'm not sure that we've got the composure defensively that we had with Rudiger. I don't really see Koulibaly as that composed with his feet in those high pressure situations either. So I'm feeling like that was an error that was on the cards and was coming our way, and the fact that it happened in this game, that was gut-wrenching. That was a really, really poor way to concede a goal, and it changed the face of the game. And I've got to say the game was lost then, because we were struggling to get a hold of the game before. Leeds were just playing well, and I thought we were going to ride that wave. We're going to be patient. We're just going to let this momentum that they have, let it phase, let it fade out. But then when we gave them that goal, they just went on from strength to strength. They grew in confidence. We couldn't get on the ball. We had no time. We tried to salvage the game later on. Rodrigo was absolutely everywhere in this game. Like, what a season he's at. At the start of the season, he's having 4 goals in 3 games, top goal scorer. And Jack Harrison as well, who I'm a big fan of. I thought he played fantastic. But yeah, it's a really bad loss, because this was supposed to be 3 points. I feel like we were supposed to go to Ellen Road and get 3 points and start our season, and we were supposed to win this game convincingly, I think. But did we underestimate Leeds? And obviously this season they might have a better season than on paper. You always get some dark horses, and I felt like Leeds were, with the loss of Rafinha, you felt like they weren't going to be as strong this year, and they were going to have some real worries and some real issues and concerns that they might be in the relegation. They might be relegation fodder, but from this performance, definitely not. Maybe Marsh has got them. He had them so well drilled today. Even their defensive line, they caught us offside so many times. I want to say it was poor from us, the timing of our runs, but I feel like it was more that their defensive line was so well drilled, and they just were constantly catching us offside. But yeah, really, really bad way to lose when you just give away a goal as easy as we did. Pulisic and Ziyech came on, which did not really... why Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't come on is beyond me. Why we didn't throw... I can't say his name yet. Chukwema? I don't know his name yet. Carney. Why we didn't throw him on as well for some minutes? I feel like Chilwell definitely needed to get on sooner rather than later for Cucurella at some point, but I can see why he started him. Why he kept him on. Cucurella needs minutes. He needs to adapt and learn how to grow in this team as a lot of the players do. The new signings, but Pulisic and Ziyech offered very little inspiration. They looked like they were just mercenaries out for their own, playing for some minutes to show other teams what they can do if someone's interested in acquiring their services. Didn't like that. They were well off it. Would much rather have seen Hudson-Odoi come on. So it was a day to forget for a Chelsea fan, and I feel like we're definitely gonna have to lick our wounds and prepare for the next game. And this is probably the kick up the backside we need at this point in the season. I'd much rather start off poorly and build up some momentum from here on, and not go back to this level of performance. And hopefully it's onwards and upwards from here. But that was a really poor performance, and I don't think that Tuchel will be very happy with the team. And something was wrong, something was off today in our midfield organisation. But once again, Leeds, tip it out to you. You were outstanding, like, in every department today. And a lot of people will talk about how bad Chelsea were or whatever, but I feel like it was a stronger Leeds before. They were just the better team by far. And that's that, really. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully, which will be far more positive. Alright, thanks for watching.